Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So as this channel has been going out over a year, I started the toy version or the toy side of my channel for YouTube on January 2023. As it's been just over a year now, and with the improvements, hopefully you've been following the improvements of the toy, I thought I'd do an in-depth toy tour. So this is to kick off it. Once I've done the toy tour, then I'll go into more specific lines and just focus on little bits I'm interested in as we go forwards. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this channel. If you've just come across it, welcome. Please feel free to like or comment or subscribe if you feel you want to. Otherwise, enjoy the video and I shall see you next time. So, welcome to my toy room tour. Let's zoom out a little bit. So as you can kind of see, let's go over a little summary. So you can see like we kind of have Transformers here, swiftly moving over to Power Rangers on that wall, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles here, shifting to then movies, DC, and then we have kind of Marvel with 80s and 90s thrown in. So I do have a lot, so we shall start off first at the very top here. So first we have South Park. These are Kidrobot figures. This is a set of probably like in the early days of collecting toys, these are the ones I got. They used to turn up at my comic book store. So after them there was obviously Family Guy, and Quagmire's drunk, and so is the old guy. Seamus, I think it is him. That is the problem with having these. There you go. So I got a lot of the figures, some of the rare ones, and Stewie and Brian are drunk as well. He's having too many martinis, Brian. All the accessories are up there with him as well. Oh, there's Stewie. Brian. Come on, Brian. You can stand up. No. Yeah, that is the problem with the Kidrobot figures, that they are a bit of a pain. So then we swiftly move on to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles section. So we start off with just the Kickskate, and then a bunch of foot soldiers that I have. I wanted to have like 2 per Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but I've only got I think 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 so far. Then we have a few of the figures that Rob from the Bounty Bunch lovely gifted me. Frankenstein Raph, like my wife bought me a little while ago. The Image kind of figures of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, my wife bought me these a fair few years ago. A few figures there from the Nickelodeon early line, and then some pop vinyls we have here. Then we move into our NECA section. So we have obviously Tokar Razor and Super Shredder from Secret of the Ooze. The 4 baby turtles with some pizza. And then you've got Shred and some foot there with Splinter, April, Casey and a Raph in his suit, or in his trench coat I should say. And obviously again Rob from the Bounty Bunch gifted me these little pop vinyl miniatures. Then also got the 4 turtles, given enough space so when I get the turtles from the movie 3 they can go there. Then we have the 3 of the 4 generals from the 2007 movie, and then from Nickelodeon we have the Space Turtles with the Fugitoid there. Then we move down, so this is the Nickelodeon kind of 2014 onwards set. You see Turtles, and then the Turtles in Training in front with a little of can't remember what they're called now, the little kind of terrapin things. The name will come to me then. See Splinter, got April and Casey there. You've got a few different turtles, different costumes. Mousers, that's what they're called, and a little Triceraton I picked up recently to kind of go with a big one. Then we move down to the 1980s toy line. See, I don't have many of these. Obviously, I did bought a few General Trang. I think one's missing an arm, as you can tell there. Mondo Gecko's missing his tail and skateboard. I don't really collect much accessories. I do need to get a Mikey and a Raph. just to have a complete original lineup. Obviously I have a few like the robot ones. Then obviously Bebop's missing his cannons. They're broken off unfortunately, and some of the chrome has flaked off, but hey ho. Then we move down to the Super 7. So all the rage in 2023 was the Super 7 figures, cheap at B&M. So I got 3, and then probably some of my favourite figures. These are the movie 3. April Airs a bit drunk with Walker and the Warlord. And then finally down the back we have Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. An almost complete set, obviously 2 hands there. Then on here we have some, again, Rob's gifted me a lot, so some little Lego mini figures, because it's kind of movie related, this is where they go. I do really like that Godzilla. It is very cool. Then as we move down, you see 2 Dino Riders, the flying types there, and then we have my kind of dinosaur section. So we have the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 with the main guy. Then we have a repaired T-Rex, as it's a bit hard to see. You can see the green stuff there, and now somebody's tail. I took him apart and refixed his motor so he walks. Really hard to get some of them. There's my dog's tail. Come on, Mark, move out of the way. Always wants to. Then we have some figures there. Questar. A little pack here, Setosaurus, because this is one of my favourite dinosaurs that my wife got me when we went to a dinosaur place. And then a cheap one I got from a Jurassic World. So I think the thing's there, it's only like a few quid. And then some little ones that I picked up. And then we have Archer and Slamfist. So this is where we get into the movie section. We have my Big Crow, that was obviously my favourite movie. Then we move on to the Ghostbuster figurines. So we had the NECA normal figures and the little ones. The Iron Giant there. The kid, obviously the Brain from Gremlins. So I do like Gremlins. Obviously Spike's got some cool hairstyle, is he? And then Mahoney in the back from Police Academy the animated series. Kong from, I think, Kong vs Godzilla with battle damage. I picked up at a car boot, cheap. Warriors of the Virtue in the back with some Muppets. And then obviously we have figures from Terminator, Super Mario Brothers, The Shadow, Wallace and Gromit, and Tron Legacy. Then we move over to more Lego. So this is Lego Lego game for the Xbox. I can't remember what it is. Let's forget that was just a figure I picked up from a toy one. Then we have obviously Jay and Silent Bob and the Crow. Then Back to the Future, as you know, it's a good movie. Gizmo, Ghostbusters. Obviously the in-action figures from Kevin Smith. Got the Gold Gotham there. Did pick this up recently. That was quite a cool figure to get to me ages. Spent a bit more than what I wanted to. Then we go up here to DC. So we have this was gifted to me from my cousin's partner. He was getting rid of it. Lovely, lovely Flash figure. And then we have some of the olden style Steel, Manhattan, Martian Manhunter and Aquaman, and then kind of a weird looking Dr. Zoom and Mr. Zoom. And then obviously the 2 back there got those belated Christmas presents. And then we've got Bizarro, 2 Martian Manhunters. Love Brainiac as well. Not Brainiac, Metallo. Even though his face plate has magically disappeared from the shelf, so I think it's gone down the corner. So I have to resurrect that. Etrigon, Lobo, Mr. Freeze, Ghostmaker, Grodd, and then obviously starting to build a King Shark. Then we go up to the top, so you got Batman Beyond, Azrael, I think Heavy Metal, Batman, like a little Killer Croc, obviously Bat Metal, and you got a Batman and Damien, Blue Beetle, John Stewart, and then Shazam. Then we move on to Marvel Legends. So we tried to kind of pose them as funny as you see Daredevil's fighting Kingpin, smacking him in the face. And then we have the Sinister Six, And obviously Deathlock, if you've seen the original comic with this Spider-Man, you'll know why they're kind of all featured around the same. Then obviously it's just a kind of an ensemble of figures, villains, all of these. Puma, the Absorbent Man in the background, Stilt Man. A massive Venom that I got many years ago. I think it's from Icon. So yeah, he's got futuristic Miguel there. Spider-Man 2099. And then obviously you have Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield there. Peter Parker, Spider-Ham, kind of the good guys. Silk, Jonah, Gwen. Some of the suits. Apologies for the fingers. Superior Spider-Man, Frogman, a different style of Vulture. Boomerang, go around here. Right. Then we move down. So this is my newly formed Mighty Duck section. So if it's a stick, so this tells me what wave it is, and these tell me what figures they are. So most are complete. I've still got the accessories down here, as my dog likes to get away. But as you see, most of these are mostly complete. Obviously, these two do have a bit of sun damage that I need to sort out. He's missing his gun and his visor. He's complete. So there are, as you see at the very beginning, there's a few gaps. And a few gaps kind of here. And then I more or less have almost a complete set leading up to, and my fake one. Then we go down, so we have the Biker Mice from Mars. All three of them with the bikes complete at the front, even though Vinny's bit pops open. And then you have some of the bad guys, Lindbergh missing his head. And then we have an Avengers book. This is what my wife made for me when we first started going out. And a Mandalorian who's drunk down the side. Obviously the duck bike. Then we have a statue of obviously the Green Goblin from Spider-Man 3. And some extreme dinosaurs. Thunderbolts, because these are my favourite figure comic book heroes, and obviously one's based off the original team there. So then we get to this section, which is my 90s section. So anything that was kind of based around the 90s is here. Obviously Gargoyles at the top, you see it's a bit of a mash, because obviously all their wings. So Phalog, I've got the Xanatos there, the Mona at the back, Goliath, I've had to repair his leg because he took a dive, Broadway, Brooklyn, Hudson is hiding behind there, and then obviously Bronx, so it's just Lexington, him to get a proper one, and Angela, and then I put the pops in here while I try and sort out. So we go down, in the back is Mummy's Alive. Oh, let's do the lights, because that's what it's there for. If I can remember where the controller is. Where with me wire? There we go. There. That's better. So yep, so Mummy's Alive in the background. Then the next line is the Stone Protectors, if you remember those, with one of the bad guys. Then we have Bucky O'Hare and a Toad Army kind of on the right. Still a few little spaces to fit some in. Obviously they didn't make a Jenny figure and that, so it's a bit of a shame. Moving down here we have Captain Planet in the back and the Planeteers. Then Captain Simeon and the Space Monkeys sitting in front of them. So this is all these guys. This guy was voiced by Chief Garibaldi from Babylon 5, if you've ever seen that program. And then we have Pirates of Dark Water in the front, and then a few like Mighty Max. I still need to get an owl and that to go here, and then just a few little bits to pick up, like some Sylvanian families I just thought were quite cute to shove in there. Moving down, we have a full set of Double Dragon, only missing one weapon from him, which is the biggest pain in the world to get. Sorry, the blue guy, Billy Lee. He's just missing his red weapon, and then I have a full set. In front of him is Swamp Thing. So he's starting to get, then we have Gomez Adams, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and then James Bond Jr. And then King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, and then these are just some oddballs that are put in there. Next we go down, you see Skeleton Warriors, almost a complete set of them, mostly complete with all accessories. In front of them we have Toxic Crusaders, a mixed bag, fairly complete. Obviously his snow zone. No zone's missing his wheel alignment, and I say I've not got. There's 12 figures, I think, and I've only got 6 or 7. So there we go. And then we have the Wild Stallions himself. Lovely spot. Is from NEC a while back. Then we have some VR Troopers, Masked Ranger, and then some of the bad guys that were on those series. Big Bad Beetlebugs as well. Then we move down to the final shelf of this one. So Earthworm Jim is at the back. So it's most of the 90s figures. That guy there is a special figure. Unfortunately, he fell off the shelf and broke his leg, so it's a bit of a shame, but he still looks really cool. We have some Conan, a Insectars little figure, and then Exo Squad. And then we've got some Reboot stuff there. And then some little figures from Ben 10, which I think was from some sweets. Swiftly moving along around the side, we have Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad and a bad guy. And then my Street Sharks. Most of the brothers, not the greatest. Some of them need a bit of cleaning up and that. See, one of the Space ones I got cheap, but he's missing it. Rox is missing his guitar. Moby Lick's missing his hat. Manta Ray and then the bad guys. You see Eel's missing some of his legs. It's broken off. Then below we have, this is my symbiote area. So anything symbiote related, Marvel Legends. You see Miles, Venomized Miles at the back. Then obviously we have MCU villains from the movies. Next we have heroes, obviously She-Hulk, Lara, Black Panther. More of them, apologies, fall over, obviously more MCU heroes. I like the Giant Man figure, that's quite cool. And then we have some comic villains, Bullseye. Thrasher in the back, he's not a villain, but then... And then we have even more villains with MODOK and stuff, and a few heroes and kind of comic book stuff that isn't featured there. Then we will move around to my Visionaries figures. So that is my Dagger Assault, missing a few bits. It should have a window there on the other side. A vehicle that sits on here and some guns. I think it's 6 bits I'm missing altogether. Skyclaw is complete 100%, so that's good. This is missing a visor, 2 reflections and a missile there, and the Capture Chariot is complete, I believe, and then 2 vehicles from Thundercats, the 2000 version. Let's just turn my lights off. Up there. So, skipping stuff. So let me start off here. We have the X-Men. So Professor Xavier and the original kind of combined team. So we have the secondary team there with Gambit, Wolverine, Storm, and then you have the original 5 mixed in. So Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Beast, and then Angel, who's Archangel back, one of my favourite Colossus hiding. Deadpool just there because I thought it was silly, and that figure was quite cheap for it. I think I got it. I sold my version and then got a version of it back. And then we have kind of X-Force, so Cable and his team with Cannonball, Forge, Havoc, Maverick, so more from Wolverine. Then we have Blink, as we move from the films, and then we move on to like Maggot, some of the comic book stuff. Thunderbolt, Warlock, and then we've got the Mutants, Toad, Juggernaut, Pyro, Legion, Lady Deathstrike, Spiral, a great looking figure, Sauron, Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Samurai, loads on his good. And then we have Fortress Maximus, so he just kind of sits out the way because he's so big. I didn't really have anywhere to store him. Then we go along the top, we have the real Ghostbusters and some villains with a Wily kit thrown in there. Then we have the 2000 range of Thundercats, mostly a complete set, still missing a few little bits, and a set of Centurions. Unfortunately, the ports are a little bit damaged on some of them, so they don't always stick. Dungeons and Dragons, so I used the background for the Dungeon Master and Avenger box set, and then obviously we have half of them there. Still need Eric, Diana, and presto. And obviously we have Quicksilver, the lead of the Thunderhawks. Super 7 figure. It's alright. It's a little bit loose in places. And then NECA's Defenders of the Earth, Ming, and then some smaller Thundercats figures there. So then we go up, so we've got some more 80, this is 80s themes. So obviously we have the Skeletor, Evil Lyn, Orko, He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Beastman, Merman, I've forgotten what his name now is, the guy with the wings, and then Mumra, and then obviously we've got some Merman, Skeletor from Revelations, Orko from the kid version. Then we go down to my G.I. Joe. So we've got Snake Eyes, Flint Duke, Scarlet, Sergeant Slaughter, Spirit, the Attack Bubble there. Then my Cobras with the dreadlocks at the front, and Serpentor, Cobra Commander hiding in the backland, Storm Shadow. And then we move down to my Visionaries. So I got these bases off of the internet, really good for holding them. Just if the figure holds their weapons. So obviously 2 Darkling Lords are complete. I think his staff doesn't, Sindar's staff isn't right, so I need to get a proper staff for him, and then I can correct that. Lexor needs his weapon, obviously Leoric needs his weapon, Arzon and River Quick also need their weapons. I have some figures here, so these are Sky Commanders boxed and a Danger Mouse. These will be mounted from the ceiling. I just haven't got round to finding a spot for them. And then there is Ektar, Mordred, and Feral of it, who obviously need a bit of work, and let's stand them up. Obviously they're a bit loose. I've got spare cables and that. The hologram's quite good on Feral and Mordred, even though it's got a bit. Oh, as they fall over. Then obviously I think you've seen in the video, nunchuckers. I have a set of nunchucks there, foam ones, and then these size. I used to do martial arts as a kid, so like you learn how to spin weapons like this. So that's why I still have these. They are blunt, as you can see on the end, or they've got a point but not the sharpest. So then we move to the top of this cabinet. We have Trypticon. Got him for really cheap, 50 quid at Smith's Toys. Got him last year for a tenner. And then some of the McDonald's Transformers, MP Optimus Primal. This is the knockoff Dinobot, still great. These are legit. These two, I'd love to have the complete set of these Dinobots with a very cheap wheelie, and obviously Cheetah from the recent movie. Then we go into this case. So this is where my 2000s He-Man are. So this is He-Man and everybody who knows his secrets. So Orko, Man-at-Arms, we've got Snake Man, He-Man from the second season, and then obviously Adam before he turns. So these were all sculptured by the Four Horsemen. So great. So these are the masters that I have. Unfortunately Tila's head is glued on because she's quite hard thing. And then we've got Fisto in the back. Roboto, Snout Sprout, he is a statue, so they did release some figures, but they're like, they don't move, they're fixed, so he is missing a few bits. Buzz Off in the back, Cyclone. Why can't I not remember it? If you can remember this guy's name with the wings, I can't remember. I'm thinking Arzon, but it's not, probably not that. Then we go down to the villains. So we have Skeletor there on Panthro, we have Stinkor, he's a statue as well, and obviously Triclops with a little bust of him, Trapjaw, Evil Lyn, not Evelyn, Merman, Beastman, Two-Face, and Whiplash. And then we go down to the Snake Men and Hordak. And there, some of these are figures, some not. And then obviously in front is Scareglow from the Revelations series. So around here, this is where I have my comics and table to lay stuff out. I still have a few figures to sort out and some DVDs. And obviously I do have a signed Kevin Smith figure. Unfortunately, it wasn't signed to me, and I do need to find some place. And then this is 2 boxes of stuff I'm selling, or 3 boxes. And then underneath it is all the spare figures, hands and stuff. So as we go along, these are the Autobots. So Skylink, Slayer, Computron. These are the War for Cybertron figures, and a Donald Duck Transformer. Jetfire, Ultra Magnus Blaster, so a favourite of AJ's, Bumblebee and Spike. Then kind of mixed in with some of the newer ones. There you go, kind of RC and Springer, kind of from the movie. Like I tried to keep those together. Really big Optimus Prime with some with another set of Dinobots, and I can't remember, like Lost Legion or something they're called. I can't remember. And Headmasters, Quintessons all sitting in front with some of the smaller ones. And then we move over to more Headmasters, and then we get Six Shot and the Triple Changers, Abdominus, Shattered Glass Blur there, but I thought he looked really evil. And then War of Cybertron, bad guy. And then you got Cyclonus, Megatron, Soundwave, some of the sweeps, Quintessons up there. Then we move down. This is animated Hero, so the Autobots. So this is every single one they've done, including some of the rare ones like Optimus, Rodimus, and RC at the back. They were quite hard ones to get hold of, but I found them quite cheap. Then we had the villains. So I think there is an Acid Storm one, so an alternate version of Starscream that I need to pick up, but more or less that is a complete section of those. Then we move into the Beast Wars. So these are mostly original Beast War figures. Here's a reissue, but all complete. Did have most of these when I was growing up, and unfortunately got rid of them, but glad to have most of them back. And then we have the Maximals. Tigertron is missing part of his wings that I need to get a different version, but apart from that, again, a complete run. And obviously I like Penguin stuff. He's quite rare now. Then we go down to Ben 10. So these are all like additional figures of Ben 10. They're kind of like a 3 3/4 inch, I believe. And I just looked to pick them up for a few quid. There's that big Azimuth there, Cannon Bolt, Upchuck, and then some of the more cooler ones. And then when we get to here, these are the original 10 that he had, except for Stinkfly. Then we move down even further. So we have Girth from Invader Sim, who's a glow-in-the-dark Pop, Voltron, and a few of them. I got really quite a lot. I kept, see, the Daredevil from the Netflix series. Then we have some DC villains and Marvel ones thrown in there. So the Venom ones are quite cool. And then it's just a kind of Disney set. So toys from the Tarzan toy line, because we use this in our wedding, because we did this. Then you have some of the Gizmo Duck and the original kind of Disney characters, Baloo, and then Warner Brothers as well. We shall swing round. So in between that, I do have Ted, Poppin, Ecto-1, and a few Minions. And then up here, a little cheap pack I got of Scooby-Doo, some Sonic, and then Matt and Jeff Hardy of the Hardy Boys. And then just above them, these are my Beast Box 52s. So what my wife got me last year. Really, really cool. Hopefully you get a few more of those. Then down below, we have Mask. So this is Boulder Hill. This is one of the top figures I bought last year. You see there's a Sylar, a Lost figure, and a Resident Evil figure around there. I have some random stuff. Obviously bits missing here and there, but a lot of them are mostly complete. And then what you were seeing here, this area is my morphers for Power Rangers. You'll see most of them up here. So then the final Transformers section here, we have Predaking. He's a knockoff with Insecticons. A few of the later Transformer versions with Devastator and Skybite over his shoulder. I know, maybe he's Computron, and I can't remember who the other one is. Some. And then obviously that figure at the far right, the black and red one, he's from my childhood, so I only have a few of them, and a few from the movie. Then we go to Kira Major. So this is a Sentai oh, sorry, there's a Rumble figure there. So this is a Sentai series, hasn't been adapted into Power Rangers, but obviously they were all crystals, so that was the main one combined there with kind of these figures you got from Candy stuff, and then this is one of the bad guys, and this was the King and his Zord, and then these few little ones that would be accessories, and then this is like the 6th Ranger and his kind of Zord, and then this is kind of another Zord that they could use. Then we come over here in Auric the Conqueror, and then we have some pop vinyl down here. So we have all the Power Rangers, all the original 5 plus green and white, Alpha, and some bad guys. And then kind of I went with a villain motif at the top. So this is Serpenterra, not Serpentor. Unfortunately, he's a bit broken, as you can see there. There's one section, but I think he looks quite menacing with Zed. This is the Legacy White Tiger Zords. That's from in Time Force, I believe. That's a villain, I think, from In Space. And then obviously one of the Thunder Zords. And I tried to kind of go through the years. So you first have the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Megazord. This is the Soul of Joguken. I think very expensive. Like 350 quid it cost me, so they've gone up now. This is the Legacy Dragon Zord. Then we have the Ninja Zord. So you have the Ninja over there. These were a few of the Zords that became figures. Turbo, he was a Will. I can't remember what that is. Then this is Turbo, so this is around the 2nd movie. And then In Space on the right, I've kind of tried to compile these because I don't have much. This is kind of a glue that I use to stiffen up joints. Lost Galaxy, so here's the 5 original Zords, just missing the fists and the horns for the lion. In Space, no, this is Lightspeed Rescue. So you have the main Zord, and then I just put that Goldar figure there because he was from Lightning Collection. Time Force, and then the bad guy here. Then we move out, and we have obviously the Thunder Megazord with Tor, the Shuttle Zord here, and then we had kind of the movie version that was the 2nd iteration with Titanus, Zeo. Both Zeo Zords because they're so big. This is from, oh my god, this is another Sentai that wasn't adapted, that they all use cubes. See, that's one of the numbers, but they're all different Zords. And I can't remember what it's even called now. And then we have the movie version. Up above we have some few villains from the Lightning Collection. Oh, that's going to bug me. I'll put up at the screen what that's from because I cannot remember. Right, and then we systematically go through. So, oh, let's actually plug the lights in because, yeah, there we go. So this is from Jungle Fury. No, Jungle Fury is further down. Sorry, I keep drawing a blank on these series. This is from Wild Force. That's it. Animus, still missing a few bits, but he's mostly complete, which is quite good. He's the hardest one to get. And then obviously the Predator Zords and the Isis Zord, and a few knockoff ones that I've used to kind of get some bits. Then we have Ninja Storm. So the Ninja Storm Megazord there, and the Hurricane Zords I think are there with the Mini Zord. Then we have Dino Thunder. Sorry, it's on with a few of the auxiliary Zords and that, the main, and then a faceplate for one in there. SPD. So with the main Zord riding the bike there. It took me ages to piece that together bit by bit, but I did. And then obviously the kind of SWAT team Zord, and then it's the dog gun at the back. Then we have Mystic Force with some figures at the beginning. So the first section of, so the 2 centaurs, missing the horn on the unicorn there, and a little bit for the black centaur Zord. Then we have Operation Overdrive, but this is the Bokanger, so this is the Super Sentai versions of these two. So I got this for quite a good price. Did get charged a little bit of import fees. Then we have Jungle Fury, probably one of my favourite intros. These are again Geki Ranger, so this is from the Sentai. This is Go-Onja, so this is what RPM would be. I haven't got any yet, so that's why it's blank. And then we have Samurai. So most of the Zords and the figures from that series. Then we have the anniversary section. First, and so I can't remember what I keep forgetting these names. Megaforce, and the second series of Megaforce with some keys. Then we have Dino Fury. No, Dino Fury is further down. This is. Evades me, apologies that I keep missing these names. It isn't one of the Dino ones, so, and then there's a spare one there, let's for another one. And then we go to the final one, so we have Beast Morphers. This was a cheap set from a package that I got, not the greatest, but I did like the little figures on this there. Then these are Dino Fury figures that are there with all the little clips. So this is kind of their series 1 figures that they had. What the Zords are there that you may remember, but these are the Japanese ones. And this is from Q-Ranger, so this is what the last series was translated into Power Rangers. There's loads in there, but there's too many and I ain't got enough space for them all. And then obviously Lightspeed Rescue Train down the bottom. And then finally, it's not really toy related, but then I have this little section with some figures from Civil War, DC, you'll see there, Wolverine, and that is it.